Hello and welcome back to another video. Is that it?
Hi.
This time we're going to give you a walk around of our caravan, the tow rig. We'll show you inside the caravan and tell you a bit about ourselves and what we're all about. We tried to do it in one episode, but it went a bit long, so this is part one. Part one is the run around the van on the outside and a quick look over the tow rig. Roll the intro.
Hi, welcome to Great Northern Adventures. I'm Kylie.
I'm Craig.
We packed up our lives and moved into our little home on wheels to take on the lap of Australia.
We'd like to share a journey of discovery and recovery that will take us to all corners of this great country, Australia.
Hang out with us as we share the highs and lows of caravan life, the quirky experiences and epic destinations that makes Australia the greatest country in the world.
Alrighty, Kylie's on the camera, and let's see how she goes behind the camera. Hopefully not too many photos of my feet because they're a bit dirty at the moment. Right, so our van is a Marvel Subaru Sport 18'6", 2024 model. We went with the 18'6" with the single axle because we had to keep our weights in mind because our tow vehicle is a Ford Ranger. Fairly limited with what you can tow with them. So yeah, all the dual axles seemed to be just that little bit too heavy for us. So yeah, we wanted to drive with it, or tour with a bit of comfort. So yeah, that was the basis behind that. While we chose the Marvel, Marvel are made or were made by Sunseeker. I believe they've stopped making them now, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, made by Sunseeker or made for Sunseeker. So yeah, the workmanship and all that sort of stuff was really good. It was a really high level. And this was one of the first vans that we saw in that 18'6" size that had a 3-ton ATM. So it was a little bit heavier than most of those vans. Like we were looking at the JBs and things like that in the 17'6", and they were all around the 2.7 tonne, whereas this one's up to 3 tonne. Yeah, which helps, sort of gives us a bit of extra payload. Anyway, let's do a bit of a quick tour. Nothing too exciting. Tunnel boot goes all the way through. All we do is keep our chairs and table and all those things, drills and that sort of stuff. Well, Kylie says open it. Yeah, it goes all the way through. Yeah, so we keep there just our things that we need quite readily. Our chairs, table, the drill for the jockey wheel or jockey leg and that sort of thing. Coming around, we've got a mounted toolbox.
Oops.
Mounted front toolbox with a draw slide. So there's our Weber and the little bag there that just keeps it all nice, and that's my sort of like barbecue-y stuff and stuff to light campfires and all that sort of stuff. Not that we've been able to have too many campfires. Couple of jerry can holders. We've put water ones in. Very rarely do we use them. I think we've only used them twice on the whole time we've been away. Yeah, so an extra 40 litres. We run the Stone Stomper. We had that on our last van, our little Jawa hybrid. Does a pretty good job. There still is a few little chips on the front, but you can't notice them unless you're up there sort of cleaning it. Van comes standard with 2 9-kilo gas bottles. Probably, if I had my choice, I'd just downsize them to 4.5 to save a bit of weight, but yeah, they come with it, so we didn't worry about that. Oh, here comes a car. They're good. They're not going to drive on the wrong side of the road. No, sorry, not on the wrong side of the road, on the dirt road. Yeah, so we've got the the 2 9s. I'd probably just run 2 4.5s because they last forever. Yeah, everything else is up the front. DR35. Oh, we use the Covix alarmed lock. Didn't really go with it because it was an alarmed lock, but it has this extra piece there, and I wanted to do it so it doesn't go off. That spins on the main locking bolt, so which makes it quite a hard hard to saw through because it moves and all that sort of stuff. The only other sort of thing that we changed up front was we went with the Boss jockey leg. Just every day when you're moving around up and down, just makes a whole heap of sense. Levels the van out really quickly. Just use your drill, and you can use a hand bit if you don't have a drill, and you can leave it on here. Yeah, just put a little strap around it which keeps the leg from going down, and yeah, don't have to find a spot for it in the caravan. On this side of the toolbox is the same thing. It's divided in half. It's on a draw slide. We just keep our ramps, our chocks, tent pegs, all that sort of stuff, camping stuff. And in the inside there, about there, can't see it if I open the door, there's a 10 litre diesel container which runs the diesel heater that I spent a fortune on and we've used once. In summer, yeah. early January, figure that. This side we just keep our hoses, electrical cord, sullage, hose and that sort of stuff. If you have a look down there, I've got my little fishing rod holder. Yep, in there. Don't know why I brought fishing rods. I should run a little show on how not to catch fish. You'll see these couple of ones. When we were setting off, we obviously had the idea of Starlink. So this was going to be the Starlink in, and actually so I could plug it into my car's inverter to power the cowfish power adapter, but we ended up just going with by the time we hit the road, we went with the Starlink Mini, which just runs off 12 volt anyway, so yeah, that's all there in case.
Cowfish is gone.
Well, no, that was a different cowfish.
Oh.
We need to talk about that. The next little one is for the lithium battery. Obviously, with the new rules, it's got to be in its own self-contained compartment. It does come out in underneath my drawers a little bit, so I don't get like a little chest of drawers underneath my socks and undie drawer. Anyway, that's what we have in there. Comes standard with a 200 amp hour lithium battery. We opted to get another 200 amp hour to a total 400 amps. It was supposed to go under the seat, but it didn't quite fit with the wheel arch. So what Sunseeker came up with the idea of running the Projectus 400 amp hour single battery, and it's obviously it marries in with their projector management system really well, and we decided to go with it, and this hatch has sort of turned out to be a great little addition. You can get to your battery easy, and it's really, it's just really handy. Locks away, and it complies with all the rules. See? Keep moving down this way. Water filling. The only modification I made down here, you'll have to come this side, Kylie. Right down underneath that, I just notched up a bit of a water fill point so I can isolate the tanks, and I've got tank isolations in there too for the so I can fill the front tank, get bad water, close one off and else, that sort of stuff. And we decided to go with the Waymo water filter, Australian made, replaceable filters. Yeah, just sounded like a good idea. Hot water system. You'll notice there's no door for a toilet cassette, and this little cupboard here, standard on a few little,
What's it called?
a few of the vans in this sort of size. We call it the garden shed because it just has all that sort of stuff. So I've got some basic tools, cleaning gear, extra screws and nuts and bolts, and some couple of spare parts, and the coir peat blocks up the back there for the thing while we don't need the toilet cassette. Keep coming around. Marvel do have an option for a firewood box on their, it comes standard on the Thunderstorm, but I didn't know that it didn't have one when we ordered it, didn't think of it and all that sort of stuff, so I just knocked this one up, just with some composite panel, bit of alley tubing and a bit of alley grate. It looks exactly the same as the one on the Marvel has on the Thunderstorm, but it's probably half the weight. Yeah. Bin bag on the back. Great brand, 23-0, really good quality. But if I had my time again, or if I get a bit of extra cash, I'll buy one. I wanted one that had the wheel cover. They just seem to hold on a bit more securely. But I had my time again, I'd just get one that had the square opening lid rather than the flap that lifts up. Because when it's full, let's have a quick look here. When it gets full, it gets a bit hard to get things in and out, and dust gets in there. So yeah, if I had my time again, I'd get one of those ones. Same thing, wheel cover, but with the square opening top that you could put your bags in and out. Around this side, everything on this side's pretty much standard. Where are you going?
I want to trip over.
Don't want to trip over. Yeah, everything's standard. You got the handrail to get in. They don't come with midgie-proof mesh, but if you have a look, they actually have a channel. So I put some midgie-proof mesh in there because the crim-safe sort of stuff is really quite big, and midgies and sandflies can get in. It makes it really hard to clean, but when we finish the trip, we'll rip her off, give it a good clean, and put some new midgie mesh on. Nothing going on there, just get it done. One of the best little investments we've made, the tie gear little step. I can't even remember how much it was like 30, 40 bucks or something.
It wasn't much.
I think I bought it straight from Tie Gear. You just find that step up is just that little bit too much sometimes, especially if you've got to get the ramps out to level it. So yeah, probably one of the best little investments we made. The only other thing that I added to this side was the support for the awning. It's a shorter awning. You probably don't really need it, but I thought if we're going over rough roads, why not get it? And yeah, just peace of mind and that sort of stuff. We use the Tie Gear tie downs. The reason for that is they're just so neat. Like, they wrap up in their own little bag. I'm sure everyone's seen a Tie Gear, the ads and all the sponsors and that. They've got the built-in shock cord, which is like a spring, and yeah, we just tied it all up and it goes away in its own little bag. We did leave home without any sort of sunshades. Oh, there she is. No, don't you hit your head. We left home without any sunshades. We just thought that we weren't going to use it, but actually when you're on the coast, you always kind of are positioned, especially in Western Australia, you're positioned so the sun belts in of an afternoon. So yeah, we just bought a little smaller one, just put it up there so that yeah, when you're in those sort of positions, or like this when we're in a caravan park, just gives that little bit of added privacy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The modifications that we made to the outside, so as I said before, we put the stone stomper on. I changed out the standard stabiliser legs for the arc. I can't remember what they're actually called, the arc stabiliser legs. They're like the Boss ones. They're rated to lift the van. You can jack the van up. Yeah, they're heavy enough. They'll lift a 4-ton van, I think, from memory, from each of the legs. You just got to do a little bit each time. We have had to do that. You'll see in an episode coming up, we had a bit of an issue with this wheel, so I had to jack it up and rip the hub off and all that sort of stuff. What else outside? Oh yeah, so on top, it comes standard with 600 watts of solar panels, and a Wine Guard TV antenna. So we got rid of that TV antenna and put on an extra solar panel. We couldn't quite get a 200 on there just with the size that was available, so it was a 180, so we got 780 watts of power, which is kind of double the battery level that we have, so that's a pretty good sort of basis. I do also carry a 200 watt solar blanket around with us just in case yeah, you need a little bit extra, but yeah, 400 amp hours is plenty of lithium, and yeah, that recharges really quickly. Probably the only other thing that I've done out here is I added some extra mud flaps just on the first crossbeam. I just found that with our last van, even though we had the stone stomper, they don't stop the stones from coming through. They just sort of bounce along and they sort of buffer them down a little bit. But yeah, those guards there protect all the suspension arms and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really good sort of stuff. This van, I probably should say also that it comes with the Tico Tough Ride independent suspension, and their manufacturing, engineering, whatever, that's how they were able to get up to the 3-ton ATM. Anything else?
The door latchy,
Oh, yeah.
not a biggie.
Not a biggie. Well, if I could change something, I would have made the door open the other way so that it went out that way. So you could open this window without any interference, but we just had to buy this so you can open that window. But yeah, it would have made more sense for the door to open to the right, put the handle over this side. Yeah. Not a biggie, not a game changer. Got a couple of Fusion speakers for the Fusion sound system inside, which runs off Bluetooth and all that sort of stuff. And a couple of TV antenna port, which is not much use to us anymore, because I forgot to mention one of the other things that we added was a cowfish, like a dome antenna. I was turning around in a service station and watching all the corners because it was really tight, but I didn't watch up.
Truck.
Yeah, there was a truck and there was, the petrol bowsers, and I wasn't watching up for the roof as much as I should, and now we don't have a cowfish antenna at all. Gone. It ended up in the bin somewhere along the Gibb River Road.
Men and gone.
So yeah, we can't, that's of no use, but we've got Starlink, so we stream just about everything anyway. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the outside of the van. So let's go and suss out the touring rig, the mighty Ford Ranger. It's a 2022 XLT Ranger. Funny story behind this one is we ordered it early. Actually, I think it might have been the end of 2021, right at the end of 2021. And there's always a little bit of a wait for your cars. We actually paid for it with the local Ford dealer in Lismore. Paid for it. We won't just go in and pick it up on Monday because it was a bit late on the Friday afternoon. And on the Sunday night, Lismore experienced that massive flood, which was like 2 metres higher than any record flood in history for that area. And the first one went straight underwater, so now we ordered a second one straight away. Funnily enough, it took them, I don't know, it was a couple of months wait to get the first one that went underwater, and then because we'd paid for it, they pulled their finger out and they found us one within a few weeks. So yeah, go figure that. Anyway, can't complain about it. Ford were really good. They did their best. Got a feel for them too. They lost all of their stock in the same flood. But yeah, so some of the things I've done to it, we went with a rival bull bar. It's aluminium. It's quite thick, heavy aluminium. So it does offer some sort of protection, but there's a little bit of saving of weight there. There's the Nava, the TJM branded Nava Ultimas. They are fantastic lights. What else have we got around here? So the tyres that I'm running on it are the Maxxis Razor all-terrains. They're a fairly aggressive tread for an all-terrain, but they're really good. They're quiet. They handle on the road a lot better than some of those really aggressive off-road tyres. Fitted the MSA tow mirrors. If you have a look in here, they can come out and they fold all the way around there like that too. So you can see down the side of your van nice and legal. We always wanted to do the right thing and be legal. So yeah, fitted a set of them. A lot handier than the the ones you screw on. I had a set of them. We were up in far north Queensland and a B double went past, and the mirror went past with it. So didn't hit it, just blew off with the wind. Up on the top there, I've got a Rhino rack platform with their backbone system. No complaints about that. A little bit noisy, but yeah, going to have something on there, it's going to make noise. And we went with the Camp Boss freestanding 180 awning. We did have a Dace non-freestanding a while ago. Such a difference that makes. You can just pull it up, stretch it out, you're ready to go, as long as it's not too windy. And yeah, you just it's all good to go. Easy to set up, and it's got some inbuilt lights in it too, which are really handy. And you'll see up there, I'll give you a look at that up closer. Alright, so as you can see there, we've got the GME aerial mounted up on the roof rack. It's on a tilting bracket, so you can tilt that back when you're driving around town and needing to go into car parks and things like that. The reason why I put it up there is I saw a comparison on Ronnie Dahl's YouTube channel. He did a comparison with just a little short 3 dBi and a big 6 dBi, and mounted up on top of the roof. It outperformed it, so I thought might as well just have the one aerial, stick it up there, and it folds down out of the way when you're driving around town. Yeah, spare jerry can, haven't needed to use it, and the max track's up there, and the good old recovery shovel on the other side there. I'll show you the mounts that are on in a sec. Yes, as I said, the yak on the mounts just bolt straight into your roof rack with the channel nuts, and the mechanism's really simple. It's lockable, and yeah, it's just a squeeze, open them up, take your shovel out, and to put them back down. I'll do it this way so it doesn't make a lot of noise, but basically just head it down, lock her up, it's not going anywhere. Secure as and easy to get on and off. And around on this side we've got a stainless snorkel. Went with the Meredith Metalworks one. That was the one that was recommended to the guys that did the work on the car. That was Jake at Northern Rivers 4x4 at Lismore. Reckons that they just fit the best. They are noisy. Would I have one again? Hell yeah, because they're cool as. They sound great. But yeah, it's a good looking sort of fixture. It goes with that sort of black and blue sort of look that I was going for. Yeah, that's the standard bonnet protector in matte black from Ford. Oh, I forgot to mention too, some ROH wheels, just in the 17-inch. Yeah, not much to say about them except for they're filthy dirty at the moment. Yeah, just blacked out the handles. Yeah, got a window tint, nothing outrageous there. Modifications sort of under the bonnet. So we went with a pre-fuel filter, a transmission cooler, and also went with the GVM upgrade. So the reason for the GVM upgrade, we were underweight, but not by a lot. And we just wanted that comfort to know that if we wanted to chuck a couple extra things in or fill up a water bladder and that sort of stuff, we'd be right and still legal, not wasting our insurance and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we went for the GVM upgrade. And the good thing, and on top of that as well, before I get onto the sort of certification side of it, we also chucked in a long range fuel tank, Brown Davis 150 litre long range fuel tank. That's the reason why I don't have to use the jerry can that's on the top. Yeah, it's really good. So we took it to the certifying engineer at Ballina. Yeah, he went right over it, had a look at it, and it's all legal. So with the GVM upgrade, it's gone from like 6 tonne gross combination mass up to 7,100 kilograms, which gives us heaps of room, an extra couple 100 kilos in the back axle. Not that we really need it, but if we just go over it because we've got a bit of extra water, I like to know that we're just doing it right, and yeah, if something goes wrong, we're still going to be covered by insurance. So I did do a Torque stainless steel exhaust. It's DPF back. Obviously, I was just saying I want to do everything right. Yes, we could probably take the DPF out and make it go a bit better, but yeah, got to follow the laws and do everything right because it's too expensive, and yeah, don't want to get caught out. It's very simple to put on, DIY system. Probably the easiest thing I've done on the whole car. And apart from that, the only other thing inside, a throttle controller. Yeah, it just makes it a bit more responsive. As soon as you put your foot down, it is responsive. Right, and now we'll give you a look at the back. We went with a Ute Master load lid, a mob out of New Zealand, but yeah, they sell them in Australia. The reason why I went for this one is, one, I think they look really cool. They just sort of fit the lines and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, fit in with the Rhino rack. But they're actually load rated, so you can put a couple 100 kilos on there. Alrighty, so like I said, we went with the Ute Master load lid. I was just having a chat to a couple of campers moving in, so I've got to hurry this up and move the car out of the way nice and quickly. But as you notice there, it is load rated. We've got the spare on top there. It's not an extra spare. Because I decided to go up a size, I'm running the 285/70s, so basically a 33-inch tyre. They don't fit in the spare tyre spot up under the tub like the standard ones do. So anyway, lucky I bought the load lid. I'll move the car out of the way and then I'll show you what's inside the tub. So that's the fit out of the back of the ute. Just wanted to make it fairly simple, but give it some square sides and some edges just so you can pack things easily. You know, you're trying to pack things around wheel arches gets really hard. So as you can see right up the front here, we opted for a drawer fridge. It's basically just a drinks fridge. I've only just turned it on, that's why it's sitting in 26 degrees. And it doubles, it will go down to freezing, so you can use it as a freezer. It's minus 18 I think, which was one of the best. Even though it's an XTM brand, it hasn't sort of missed a beat. It's pretty good. Draws next to no power. The solar blanket for the car, or if we need it, it just basically sits on top there. And basically just up there we've got bits and pieces. You've got some scuba gear, a umbrella. I don't know why Kylie had to bring the umbrella, because we had spent a fortune on a freestanding awning. A bit of scuba gear, and there's a stand-up paddleboard, like a blow-up one. There's the water bladder there. That's probably one of the handiest things that we bought. And yeah, we just always carry around the butane burner. I think it's a Coleman Hyperflame or something like that it's called. It's really, really good. So going over this side, just a real basic 12-volt setup. Just a couple of sticky plugs, USBs, obviously the hardcore lights for a bit of nighttime ambience. And then I've got a red one's a solar in, and I've got the grey one that's a power out. So if you need to run something, but like I said, just real basic stuff. DC to DC charger, 120 amp hour lithium battery. That's that. I did buy a 300 watt inverter that was going to run the big Starlink, but then we changed our mind and didn't get it, so it charges batteries basically now. Just a little Ryobi chainsaw in there, and that's basically just all sitting over the wheel arch. Then we go over to the other side. You can see there, I've built in the TJM double pump air compressor. I've run the lines. It's all wired up to the auxiliary battery, but I run the starter motor with it as well. Then it just sits in there. Under here, just got a couple of little butane canisters for the stove, and under that's a shelf, and all the recovery gear's under that. Snatch straps, D-shackles and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a basic setup, but we're not really living out of our car, we're living out of our van. So it does everything that we need it to do, and probably a bit more. There you go. One quick little thing I forgot to mention about the car, one of the upgrades that we made. As soon as we got it, I upgraded to the Heyman and Reese X-Bar. The XLT does come standard with a tow bar, but the problem with the PX3 tow bars, the hitch only depth was about that long, and then there was a plate there, so whereas the Heyman and Reese one, you get a lot more perch as it goes through. So a real problem what some people were doing, because this was so short, they were actually putting extended bars on, extended receivers, which just created a lot of leverage and actually bent them. So yeah, if you've got a PX3, be careful of that, or have a look at that. Don't know what the new ones are like, but yeah, Heyman Reese X-Bar gives you a couple of recovery points, mountings for all your accessories and hookups and all that stuff. How could I forget the Heyman Reese X-Bar? You're doing warm-up exercises.
Warming up. Okay, go.
She's supposed to warm up before we're finished. That's the end of part one. So you'll see the outside and the car. Make sure you join us again next video, which is going to come up in a couple of days. We're going to pump it out really quick. It's Kylie's turn. She's going to show us all around the inside, and we'll give you a quick rundown on who we are and what we're doing. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.